Syria is formally a unitary republic. The constitution adopted in 2012 effectively transformed Syria into a semi-presidential republic due to the constitutional right for individuals to be elected which do not form part of the National Progressive Front. The president is head of state and the prime minister is head of government. The legislature, the People's Council, is the body responsible for passing laws, approving government appropriations and debating policy. In the event of a vote of no confidence by a simple majority, the Prime Minister is required to tender the resignation of their government to the President. The executive branch consists of the President, 2 Vice Presidents, the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers, Cabinet. The Constitution requires the President to be a Muslim but does not make Islam the state religion. The Constitution gives the President the right to appoint ministers, to declare war and state of emergency, to issue laws, which, except in the case of emergency, require ratification by the People's Council, to declare amnesty, to amend the Constitution, and to appoint civil servants and military personnel. According to the 2012 Constitution, the President is elected by Syrian citizens in a direct election. Syria's legislative branch is the unicameral People's Council. Under the previous constitution, Syria did not hold multi-party elections for the legislature, with 2/3 of the seats automatically allocated to the ruling coalition. On the 7th of May 2012, Syria held its first elections in which parties outside the ruling coalition could take part. 7 new political parties took part in the elections, of which Popular Front for Change and Liberation was the largest opposition party. The armed anti-government rebels, however, chose not to field candidates and called on their supporters to boycott the elections. The president is currently the regional secretary of the Ba'ath Party in Syria and leader of the National Progressive Front governing coalition. Outside of the coalition are 14 illegal Kurdish political parties. Syria's judicial branches include the Supreme Constitutional Court, the High Judicial Council, the Court of Cassation, and the State Security Courts. Islamic jurisprudence is a main source of legislation and Syria's judicial system has elements of Ottoman, French, and Islamic laws. Syria has 3 levels of courts: courts of first instance, courts of appeals, and the Constitutional Court, the highest tribunal. Religious courts handle questions of personal and family law. The Supreme State Security Court, SSC, was abolished by President Bashar al-Assad by Legislative Decree No. 53 on the 21st of April 2011. The Personal Status Law 59 of 1953, amended by Law 34 of 1975, is essentially a codified Sharia. Article 3(2) of the 1973 Constitution declares Islamic jurisprudence a main source of legislation. The Code of Personal Status is applied to Muslims by Sharia courts. As a result of the ongoing civil war, various alternative governments were formed, including the Syrian Interim Government, the Democratic Union Party and localized regions governed by Sharia law. Representatives of the Syrian interim government were invited to take up Syria's seat at the Arab League on the 28th of March 2013 and was recognized as the sole representative of the Syrian people by several nations including the United States, United Kingdom and France.